No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You are watching the Raiders Report, and on today's show, I'm going to be giving you the biggest winners and losers from the 2021 NFL Draft. Today's show is made possible by my good friends and sponsor, Panda Supps. Look at this promo code right now. 40% off at pandasupps.com. I want you to use code Hayward, okay? When you use code Hayward, that's going to save you 40% off on the best workout supplements. Panda Supps is owned by a die-hard Raiders fan, and he was like, dude, use the promo. Let's keep it rolling. I'm super pumped, and if you want to get super pumped, pandasupps.com, use code Hayward. So what's coming up here now? We're going to be breaking down offense and the defensive side of the football and telling you guys which players are the biggest winners and the biggest losers. Raiders Report, Mitchell Renz. Let's first look here at the picks that the Raiders had this past draft. Alex Leatherwood, Moehrig, Malcolm Koonce, Deablo, Tyree Gillespie also was a pretty solid name, Nate Hobbs, and Jimmy Morrissey. Those were the Raiders picks in the draft. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to go down and I'm going to tell you, okay, which guys were the biggest impact on offense, which guys were the biggest impact on defense, and the biggest winners and the biggest losers. Biggest winners for the Las Vegas Raiders after the 2021 NFL Draft. We're going to be ranking them from 5 all the way down to 1. At number 5, I got John Simpson. The Raiders didn't go out and draft an offensive guard. There was a lot of rumors around guys like Elijah Vera Tucker, a lot of rumors around other guards out there, and they could have went guard. But instead, they said, no, we're going to trust the guy that we drafted in the 4th round, 109 overall last season out of Clemson. Sure, they gave Richie Incognito a 1-year deal, but this now gives Simpson the ability to be that the main backup to either Denzel Good at right guard or Richie Incognito at left guard, depending on if one of those guys goes down. So if I'm Simpson, I'm like, you know what? I'm only 23 years old. I was drafted in the 4th round. I have an opportunity to learn here. That's what he's going to do because I know he's a smart player. Going to learn behind those two guys, so we'll see how much playing time he gets this upcoming season. At number 4, I'm going to go with the wide receiver group because they didn't draft any receivers this year. And there was a lot of rumors out there, what happens if Jalen Waddle falls, Devonta Smith? There were some other really talented dudes that end up sliding down the board. But John Gruden said, you know what? I'm confident in my young group of guys. I got Henry Ruggs. I'm ready to rock and roll with Bryan Edwards. And we just went out and signed John Brown. I like my slot receiver in Hunter Renfrow. We gave Zay Jones a $1.1 million raise. Sure. They went out and signed a few guys as a UDFA. Shout out to Dylan Stoner. That's one hell of a name there. But the Raiders stuck to their wide receivers. They're confident in their young group. That's why I made the receiver group here a winner. At number 3 in list, which, you know what? We're breaking it down here. Before I get to my number 3, which wide receiver out of the list that you just saw is going to have the best season? Now, I'm not just saying catches, I'm not just saying yards. You can't say Darren Waller because he's going to be a tight end. I know he's our number 1, but he's our tight end. So who is going to be the best receiver this season? Go down in the comment section and let me know. Number 3 on my list in terms of biggest winners after the draft, I'm going to go Josh Jacobs here. And some of you are like, well, why Josh? The Raiders upgraded their offensive line by going out and getting Alex Leatherwood in round 1. Like, you want to talk about a big-time impact, that's what Leatherwood's going to be able to give you here. And when you look at his 2 seasons, 2020, Jacobs struggled so much because the offensive line, it had so many different moving parts, they weren't together. In 2019 as a rookie, when they had guys like Incognito and actually a healthy Trent Brown, they had a damn good offensive line. Josh Jacobs behind that O-line, he's a big-time winner here. Number 2 on my list, I'm going to go Solomon Thomas. You might also be able to throw out Quentin Jefferson here, but you know what? I'm a believer that they have the bigger need or the bigger like for Thomas since they went out and paid him more. They moved on from Mo Hurst. There was rumors about them taking a defensive tackle. They decided to not go with a defensive tackle. So I'm excited to see what Thomas can do here because he also chose the Raiders because he's like, you know what? This is the style of defense that I used to run when I was at Stanford. He was drafted number 3 overall for a reason. The talent is there. It was a bad fit for the 49ers. Will we ever get the 3rd overall pick in terms of value? Maybe not. But I consider Solomon Thomas a big-time winner. The biggest winner after the 2021 NFL Draft is Gus Bradley. I want everyone to go down in the comments, start spamming Gus Bus. They hired him to be the new defensive coordinator. For the first time ever, the Raiders did not take a skill position player in the draft. So you want a defense, and then guess what? You sprinkle in a little bit more defense. The players that were selected to me, Bradley picks. Like, you want to talk about somebody like Divine Deablo. That is a Bradley pick. Hobbs, Bradley pick. Tyree, oh my gosh, I almost said it again. Gillespie, another type of player that Bradley is looking for. Malcolm Koonce, another guy. Like, they want to be able to build the defense. They wanted to have a lot of versatility. The defense needs to get better. It's going to be better. That's for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. So what do y'all think here? Who is the Raiders' biggest winner? And I mean, out of all those 5 players that I just broke down, maybe position players, if there's somebody that I let off, please let me know. That's what this show is all about. So who was the Raiders' biggest winner? Go down in the comments section and let me know. All right, Raider Nation, today's show presented by Panda Sups. If you guys are looking to save 40% off on all their workout supplements, please, I want you to pay attention because I'm going to be rolling through a lot. Code is Hayward. It's the best deal that they got going on right now. If you're a big-time gamer, if you're trying to study for a test, maybe you're at work and you have that late crash. The new Tropics that you see on screen right now, one scoop of that, and I promise you, you're going to be absolutely wired. If maybe, I don't know, you had a bit of a rough day and you have trouble sleeping, I take this stuff all the time. Like after the 45 hours of live coverage we did for the draft, I took a scoop of this, and like an hour later, you're drooling on your pillow, but it's the best sleep, I promise you. If you wake up early in the morning to go to the gym, I get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I try to get to the gym by 6. You take one scoop of pre-workout, you're ready to rock and roll. The other thing that I love about this pre-workout, it wakes up your muscles so you get more of a big burn and you can actually get stronger. Plus, the BCAs here, maybe you drink a lot of beer. Maybe you drink a lot of Fireball at work. I don't know, just speaking out of experience. But it's important to also fuel your muscles and help them recover after an important workout. That's what these BCAs are great at here. And then the final product that I'm going to show you, the Fat Burner. I don't know about you, 2020, man, put a few pounds on you, boy, and it's almost beach season. I'm actually going to be going to Florida here in like a week and a half or so. Maybe you had a cheat day. Maybe you want to go have that extra slice of pizza. You put a scoop of that into your system, and I guarantee you the weight is just going to start falling off. Speaking of falling off, look at those prices. We're slashing them down. Use code Hayward, 40% off at pandasups.com. We're going to be talking about the biggest losers after the 2021 NFL Draft. I got Carl Nassib at number 6. So rumors around cutting Nassib when the Raiders already restructured his contract. When you talk about the reason why he's going to be a biggest loser here, Malcolm Koonce. They drafted him in round 3, number 79 overall. The fact that he was never really a good fit, the other person in terms of really being able to like figure out where he's going to be, it just never quite worked out for Nassib. So I'm a big believer that the reason why they went out and got Koonce is because you can either see Nassib get cut or they're just going to try to move on from him. And yes, I'm going to be doing 6. So it's going to go 6 all the way down to 1. Damon Arnette's number 5 here on my list, and it was hard to be able to find some of these secondary players, and I'm going to go with Arnette because you drafted 4 guys in the secondary, right? And I understand this is after the draft, but I can also throw in a name now like Casey Hayward, who could actually also take some time away from Arnette. You also went out and signed Rasul Douglas. So the Raiders are looking for familiar pieces. Gus Bradley is looking for some familiar pieces here. Arnette missed a lot of time due to some injuries last year. Some people question how motivated he is to actually be a solid football player. I'm hoping it's a prove-it year. I'm hoping he goes out and shows why he's called Netway because he can just snag all those footballs. But he is a loser after the 2021 NFL Draft. Here's my question, though. Do you honestly believe in Damon Arnette? Y for yes or N for no? This is kind of a tough question because anytime you draft somebody in the first round, and it's only been a year, most people are going to say yes, and if you do, that's totally fine. I had a round 3 grade Arnette, which is not a rip on him. It's just that's where I had him go. But if you believe in Arnette to be that first-round talent, type Y for yes. If you don't, go ahead, type N for no. Number 4 loser here after the 2021 NFL Draft on the Raiders Report. I'm going to go with Brandon Parker. And if the Raiders didn't go out and take a tackle in this year's draft, I think you would have seen a mix between Denzel Good and Brandon Parker and then maybe Jared Jones-Smith. as the starting right tackle. Well, guess what? Alex Leatherwood, he's your starting right tackle, which that basically means, okay, Parker, you're going to be the backup LT, you're going to be the backup right tackle, and if one of those two guys goes down, then sure, you're going to be asked to go in there and get some starts in. But at 6'8", 320, this is a Tom Cable type of offensive tackle. I mean, if you want to talk about a guy with long arms, got the height, that's what you see in Parker. Has he gotten better since his rookie season? Yes, he has. Has he improved or been worth the pick overall? No, he hasn't. But if you're telling me right now in terms of just overall depth, what I feel pretty solid about a guy like Parker having that depth there for this team, yeah, I would be. Luckily, he's also only 25 years old. Maybe he continues to get better, but at the end of the day, we have a solid backup right tackle, which is something that I think this team needs, which is something that I think this team likes, and I think everyone watching right now would definitely agree with me in terms of, a guy like Brandon Parker. All right, Raider Nation, what I want you to do is go ahead and hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. If you disagree with anything that you saw in today's video, let me know about it. If you don't like the way my face looks because I shaved, let me know about it. If you want to talk to me more about the Las Vegas Raiders, let me know about it. Slide into DMs. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365 on IG. If anybody near Dallas, Texas, or Coppell, Texas, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not good with words. I'm going to be at this ballpark, McKinnish Park. There's the address. Plug it into your phone. Set a reminder. If you want to play some slow pitch softball, if you want to go ahead and talk some Raiders, I'm going to be here from 2:30 to 5 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be getting down with the DFW Raiders group. So there's going to be a lot of other Raider fans there. It's going to be a good time. If you want to bring some drinks, hey, I'm always down to play a little beer league softball. But again, major shout out to the DFW group on Facebook. Appreciate for the invite. And I might actually be in a softball tournament down in Austin. So if you guys are in that, be ready. I'm going to be there. Number 3 on my list here in the biggest losers after the 2021 NFL Draft. It pains me a little bit. I'm going to go with Amik Robertson. So he had a limited role in 2020 despite a little bit less competition. Now, got a lot more competition. The Raiders go out. They sign 4 players in the secondary. They also go get a guy like Nate Hobbs, who's the complete opposite of Robertson in terms of overall size. Plus, now you got to look at the signing of Casey Hayward. If they decide to put Casey Hayward as the starting nickel, that once again means, okay, Amik, you're going to be falling down the depth chart. I like Robertson a lot. I liked him when they drafted him in the 4th round. 137 overall last season. And this is a player out of Louisiana Tech who had 14 interceptions in 3 games, showed a lot of promise, and college. But when he was asked to play in the pros, he got burnt, and you could see a lot of confusion. I am also team, the biggest reason why there was a lot of confusion on the defense, no practicing, no preseason, and you had a guy like Paul Gunther. Listen to Corey Littleton's interview about Paul Gunther. He literally was like, it was the most complicated defense I ever could imagine. And that's with a whole bunch of young guys. So I'm going to give Amik Robertson and a lot of these younger players a bit of a pass. At number 2, in terms of my biggest losers, Jonathan Abram. This one breaks my heart a little bit because if there's one guy on the defense that I want to succeed, it's Abram. The passion he brings, the love for football is like everything that I think everybody that bleeds silver and black wants to see. However, he struggled when even healthy last year, and then he struggled to stay healthy. His on-field production wasn't good. He's the type of player to me that reminds me of like 10-year-old me when I first got Madden, and I was just trying to hit stick everyone. I was like, I'm going to lay this guy out. I'm going to lay this guy out. That's what Abrams needs to do. Sometimes he needs to be able to bring it back a little bit. He was rated the worst safety in 2020 by Pro Football Focus, and the Raiders went out and drafted 3 safeties. So when you talk about going out and signing 3 safeties, plus you sign Carl Joseph, Abram is going to be the starter. But I will also say this. There is also a sneaky chance that he breaks out because if they use him the way that the Seahawks use Jamal Adams and they really let him get up in the box and attack the quarterback, that's what you really want to be able to see. So Jonathan Abram, he's number 2 here on my list in terms of some of the biggest losers. All right, before I give you my number 1 loser, which pains me to say it because I don't like talking about the guys like this, but it is my job to give you guys my honest opinion. Get your votes in here. Who is the Raiders' biggest loser after the 2021 NFL Draft? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. I'm genuinely curious what you guys have to say. And this is a dude that I like a lot, and I'm hoping he can really fill his role. But at this point, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, I'm just not 100% sure if it's going to happen. So, who is the Raiders' biggest loser? Get your votes in here right now. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, I'm going to give you my number 1 loser after the 2021 NFL Draft. Number 1 on my list, it's Tanner Muse, linebacker for the Raiders. He missed his entire rookie season due to a pretty wicked toe injury. And it kills me because I liked Muse. He was a player that I wanted to be able to succeed. But as soon as I saw the Raiders traded up for him, round 3, 100 overall, I was like, oh no. They're going to regret that a lot. He's just going to be a special teamer. And I think you just have to accept that fact. He played safety in college. They wanted to try to do some hybrid role with him. It's just simply not going to work out. Plus, they went out and they drafted Divine Deablo, who literally is like what Tanner Muse is supposed to be, a linebacker safety hybrid. Deablo's a lot more athletic. He's a better overall player, and I'm telling y'all right now, this is going to push Muse down the boards, but it's not like he's going to get cut. I'd actually be pretty surprised if he got cut. Now, if you did cut him, you'd save like $826,000, I believe, if you did it after June 1st, something like that. But it's Divine Deablo time, and if that's the role you're looking for, and the other safeties as well, I mean, we just got to face the facts. This hurts Muse's ability to actually be able to get onto the football field and actually ultimately have a role with this team.